Hi Scorpio, how are we today? Just doing our weekly reading. This week we are doing the monthly reading, okay? So looking at December 2023. Please subscribe to the channel if you're not already. I do really appreciate that. But we do have 3 decks we're using today. So I do have the Oracle of the Fairies. The Lenormand deck I am using is the Gilded Reverie Lenormand, as well as that beautiful True Love Oracle as well. All right, so getting into it for you today, Scorpio. I will be splitting December up in half, okay? So start to middle and then middle to end of December. All right, so what's going on for our Scorpios? December, please. What's going on for Scorpio this December? Had some super interesting messages so far for all the other signs. So make sure you do check your other placements if you want to there. Okay, I just actually, one of these cards I have just had in the Pisces reading in the same placement as well. So if you do have Pisces strong in your chart, you may want to check that one specifically for the end of December there, because there was a bit of a message that did come out for Pisces in regard to that card. It may be different energy for you. We will get to that when we get to that. But for the start of December, we are seeing flourish. Okay. The Lotus Flower Fairy tells you to learn from experience and shed your inner light on any unclear areas of your life or those of others. There you go. So anywhere you are looking, you're unsure of, you're unclear about who or what or why, learn from experience and use your inner light to guide you, to sort of clarify what's going on in your life or in the life of others around you. Okay, so it really does talk about, flourishing within yourself and really, once again, using your experience. It does talk about growth that you have done already. The growth that you've already experienced in your life, a lot of the time it's through trial and tribulation, right, that we do learn the most. So there is obviously some things happening at the start of December where you're given this sort of opportunity to learn, or look back on a previous experience, how I dealt with that. So therefore, I may need to deal with that a different way this time, those sorts of things. Okay, but we'll get some Lenormand on that to sort of clarify for you. Okay, Scorpio, what's going on for Scorpio? Start to middle of December. I feel like that's my lizard I can hear climbing my screen door. Okay, that's coming through relatively straightforward. Just give me a second, Scorpio. I heard my front door. Won't be a sec. Okay, sorry about that, Scorpio. But yeah, like I was saying, this is very sort of straightforward. It's sort of coming through here. We do have the mask coming through. We also have the moon. All right, so we do sort of see there that with the mask and the moon, we do see you are kind of putting on a bit of a mask emotionally, because the moon is all about emotions. All right, so it's kind of telling us that there's something going on here with this masking energy. You're kind of trying to, I feel like for some of you, you are masking your own emotions from yourself. So you're kind of hiding your own emotions from yourself. You're covering those emotions with other things. So this is sort of where we see things like keeping yourself busy at work, masking your emotions by, maybe drinking a little bit too much, or, doing some sort of other behavior that is hiding those emotions from you a little bit, or and for others of you, this is you just sort of hiding those emotions from everyone else. All right. So, I'm getting drawn back to that last little bit on this flourish card where it says your life, on any unclear areas of your life or those of others. So for some of you, this is, shielding yourself emotionally from others. All right, masking those emotions when it comes to, someone says to you, "Oh, how are you, Scorpio?" And you, "Oh, I'm fine. I'm great. Everything's great." And no, that's not what we're talking about here, Scorpio. Especially with that coming out, it does feel as though usually when we see that there's some heavy emotions attached to the moon, and some things that we're a little bit sensitive about, and that's why we're masking those, because we're maybe not ready to fully face those emotions, whether that be to ourselves or fully facing and admitting to others that, yeah, this is how I feel, this is what's going on for me. So it does feel pretty straightforward in that sort of sense, that you are kind of masking your emotional self a little bit here, in that sort of sense, it's kind of like allowing yourself to try to force yourself to be stuck in reality, so that the emotions can't come out if we're so focused on the day to day, got to get this done, got to do that, responsibilities and all that sort of a thing. If we're really focusing ourselves on that, then we don't actually have to focus on our emotion, like our emotional truth at all. But what we're seeing here is the key as well. All right. So as you can see with this particular key, this key unlocks, normally the key would unlock doorways for you, new opportunities for you. But this particular key is unlocking this cage. All right. And now what's actually inside this cage, you may not be able to see there, but it's a rose. Okay. So on the inside of that, this is your heart space. So it's kind of telling you to, unlock yourself, unlock those emotions, find that softer side of yourself and open up. Okay. It's, yeah, unlocking the cage to your heart, the cage around your heart, unlocking, this these emotions that you've got sort of under lock and key right now, or at the start of the month anyway, releasing those and allowing those a little bit of freedom. Releasing those, you don't have to, go and open that the whole way up and release everything all at once. No, but you can release a small amount at a time, and at least start to open up, and start to face those emotions a little bit more here. With the key, it leads to success. Okay, so the key is always a really big positive. All right, it is actually one of the most positive cards in the deck here. So like I said, when you actually start to open yourself up, it does lead you to new opportunities and whatnot coming through there as well. So definitely a positive energy, that one. We also have the precious time card for the middle to end of the month. All right. So when we're looking at, from about maybe the 20th of December, through to New Year, it could be a little bit longer than that, the first week of January. But I do feel for a lot of you, we're looking more the middle. I'm getting like the 22nd to like the 30th of December here is sort of coming through here. So it does say precious time. The fairy of time wants you to experience every moment fully and to make the most of your precious time. Be mindful not to waste others' time either. Okay, so this is vibing a little bit differently to how it was with Pisces. We do see that concept of time and spending time with people, making the most of our time with people, sharing, making memories, with our time, using our time wisely. I do feel for a lot of you, this is talking about things like, I'm getting sort of here that for one or two of you, this is like, it's the way that you're scheduling your time. Allow extra time, like especially with Christmas itself and Christmas gatherings. I'm getting told about cooking for one of you that you need to allow extra time for the cooking. The cooking is going to take longer than planned, or you need to make sure you've got things timed out to cook properly or in the right time. There's definitely some sort of, because I'm getting shown like an oven timer, like a kitchen timer. So for one or two of you, this is about, I feel like it's probably Christmas lunch that we're seeing there, that may be relevant for one or two of you. Making sure we're really planning out our time, but also, planning out our time when it comes to the actual gatherings and whatnot as well. Don't be, don't be over, what's the word? Don't be locking yourself in to, I've got an hour to do this, and then I've got an hour to do that, and I've got an hour to go see those people, and then, I've got to see all these people on the same day. I feel like that plan's going to go out the window here, Scorpio. So make sure you're allotting extra time for those people. Don't be rushing around, and allow things to flow a little bit more naturally when it comes to the time. If you're spending time with family and things like that, allowing yourself the time to actually stop and enjoy yourself, enjoy your time with them, instead of being focused on the next thing and how am I going to get to the next thing, and who do I have to go to next, is kind of what I'm sort of seeing there. So I'm just kind of getting, if you are currently trying to planning on seeing more than one, group on one day, maybe try to separate the days, okay? Because especially Christmas, it's fine to spend time with one family one day and then, spend time with another family another day. You don't have to see everyone all on actual Christmas Day. For a lot of people, some of those other days are actually, can be more important anyway, because I know here in Australia we've got, Boxing Day. There's the day after Christmas Day. There's, not only Boxing Day sales being a big thing nowadays. So some of you might be doing the Boxing Day sales with someone. But Boxing Day here in Australia, they have a boat race, the Sydney to Hobart boat race. So, that it's actually like impossible to get away from it if you're watching television on that day, because it's pretty much everywhere. I always pull out Netflix. I'm not really interested in watching boat races. I'm not going to lie. But you guys are a water sign, so you may very well be interested in watching boat races, all right? But each to their own. Whereas the day before Christmas Day, like Christmas Eve, I know that a lot of families have certain traditions that revolve around Christmas Eve, and they may actually be more important to some people than the actual Christmas Day celebrations. Like I know a lot of families, especially with children, they do really like to do certain things on Christmas Eve night, getting ready for Santa, put out some carrots for Santa's reindeer and all those sorts of things. So some of those things can actually be more meaningful to be there for that time than the actual, Christmas Day, where we all know can go a bit cray-cray with our families and whatnot, everyone all crammed in one space. So I'm just sort of really feeling that for a lot of you, there's some sort of conflicting time management issues over Christmas. Well, that's what I'm getting sort of shown anyway, but in regard to that, but I'll have a look at the Lenormand here as well. Okay, Scorpio. What's going on for Scorpio middle to end of December? was really trying to not focus on actual Christmas Day itself too much because, I was planning on doing some extra readings in regard to actual Christmas, so we might find that popping back out again for you in one of those readings, Scorpio. Yeah. This is coming down to that time management thing again. Okay, and can we get a clarity for that third card for Scorpio, please? Pardon me. Okay, so what I'm kind of getting here is that if you don't plan your time correctly here, Scorpio, this is what's going to happen. And this is what we have the potential for. And this is why it's so important to really get on top of your time management over Christmas, because we do have the whip with the masculine there. Okay, so that masculine energy, that may be you, it may be somebody else, but I'm, I've been saying to the other two signs I've been recording today that normally I don't genderize, and their cards came out very genderized, but yours is actually not necessarily a gender here. The masculine is just somebody who likes to be in control. They like to, know what's happening when everything is happening. They do like to be, I'm kind of getting that this timing issue is really going to like mess with this person's head a little bit. So I do feel as though this is somebody outside of you yourself, and the potential for a lot of conflict and quarreling with this person over, and it feels like it's over time management, something to do with timing. All right, so try to avoid that conflict. Some of you, I am getting that some of you, there may be some sort of conflict regardless. All right, because I'm kind of feeling like this person may just be a very controlling, apt to get into quarreling, fighting and whatnot. They're a bit of a drama queen, even, they do like to be in control quite a lot, and they're very sort of domineering of how things should be. And they maybe do start a little bit of drama regardless. So don't let it be you that they're starting the drama with over timing. All right, because it does feel like this person may be starting drama over Christmas regardless. So just be aware of that. There may be some conflict with this masculine energy. Doesn't necessarily mean that they are like an actual male. It is just somebody who's a little bit more, they try to be very logical and planned out and in control a little bit more. It is feeling like it's potentially like a Capricorn or a Taurus or an Aries, possibly even a Virgo. I'm just getting just that sort of a energy that they do like to be very set in their ways. Okay. All right, but next we do have the road. That's the road, the pathways card, and that was clarified by the sun. All right, so I feel like this is just overall for the end of December here. We're choosing happiness. You're choosing happiness, I should say. So we do have the road really does talk about that choice. Are you going to choose to allow any Christmas drama to, suck you down into negativity or pull you into it and get you dragged into it as well? Or are you going to choose happiness? I feel like this is sort of straightforward, letting us know, choose the door that leads to happiness. That we can see here, even the doorways, one's sort of more golden and this one's a little bit darker, like purpley colored smoke coming out of those doorways. So this is really a choice or decision of what path you're going to walk here. And I do feel for a lot of you, this is about, am I going to get sucked into misery or sucked into conflict, or am I going to just choose to be happy, and I'm just going to choose to be that little bubbly person sitting in the corner watching all the fighting unfold. And I feel like that's what we're being told to choose here is, sit back and enjoy the show kind of vibe coming through there. Happiness, okay? The sun is all about happiness. The sun can refer to Leo as well. So I'm just getting that in extra to that masculine energy. It could also be a Leo. They are a bit of a drama queen, Leos, right? That's what I did say, drama queen. So Leo is pretty apt for a drama queen. But happiness, okay? It does talk about happiness and choosing happiness, bringing happiness to light for yourself, revealing the happy sides of things for yourself, not worrying about what everyone else is doing, just sitting there in your own little bubble of happiness, I feel, is what's going on there for you. I do feel that for some of you too, this is specifically referring to something to do with New Year's Eve, something to do with the sun, your sun, a sun. I'm getting like I'm getting shown like it's like a sheet or a blanket or a wall hanging with a big sun on it. So someone might be going to a party with there might be a sun on the invitation, or something to do with sun theme, some sort of celestial theme for some New Year's Eve party. Maybe that's just talking about fireworks. It could also be talking about fireworks. Going to the fireworks on New Year's Eve. And I totally always forget too. The sun card is card 31. So New Year's Eve. Okay. Super interesting. I do feel as though that's for some of you specific to New Year's Eve. There's some sun connection as well. All right, but we'll have a look at love for you, Scorpio. What's going on for Scorpio during December with love, please? Forgiveness. That card says, I forgive myself. I am forgiven. Okay, so this is all about that emotional thing going on at the start of December there, forgiving yourself, allowing yourself to be forgiven. There may be forgiveness needed in a situation, an experience toward a specific person, but I feel like for a lot of you, that's, forgiving yourself. And forgiveness comes in a lot of ways. But we also have the gardener. Okay, it's showing me again with that gardener card, the flourish card. Okay, so learn from experiences and, start to tend to the garden of Scorpio, really starting to plant the seeds of happiness within yourself so that you can start growing more positivity and experiencing more positive energy around you, whether that be, getting through this Christmas debacle, or or just being able to forgive yourself, growing forgiveness, even if that's something that's a bit of a struggle. Forgiveness is something that a lot of the time you can't just sort of turn on that tap, forgiveness done. It's not that easy. So it's planting the seeds now and then nurturing that energy within yourself until you are able to accept and forgive. All right. But then once again, I feel like this is linked up with that New Year's Eve energy. Okay. So oh my goodness, as soon as I said that, I looked at the card again, and it is card number 31. New Year's Eve energy. As soon as I said it, and I'm like, why do I feel that? And I looked at the card and I saw 31. So New Year's Eve energy, sexuality. Okay. So you may be in for a very interesting New Year's Eve this year, this interesting party that you may be attending, okay? Go nuts. But Scorpio, the sexuality card, it can talk about issues around your own sexuality. Maybe you're experiencing something, to do with your sexuality for the first time on New Year's Eve. You may be coming out on New Year's Eve, that sort of stuff. But sexuality can be a lot more than just, that type of stuff with the LGBT stuff. Okay, it can be a lot more than just that sort of discussion. Sexuality is all about, embracing your own sexuality, embracing yourself as a sexual being, and whatever that is for you. You may have a specific kink. You may have, just a way of acting sexually that you're embracing, or something along those lines. There may just be this element of you where you go, do you know what, I just need to, embrace who I truly am. In I am this sexual creature, and I am gonna just embrace it and enjoy it. Okay, so I do feel like that's what's going on here for you, Scorpio. Just really embracing it, and having fun, being lighthearted with your sexuality, and embracing that sexuality over New Year's. All right. So it may be a little bit more than a New Year's Eve kiss for you this year, Scorpio. Or that New Year's Eve kiss could be with somebody that you don't expect to normally be attracted to. Okay, someone that you maybe weren't aware that you're attracted to that person, or that type of person, that gender of person. All right, but I do feel as though for majority of you, this is just embracing your own sexuality, whatever that is for you on an individual level. It doesn't, like I said, it doesn't have to matter about gender at all. It's just embracing who you are inside, and how you want to display sexuality, how you want, how you embrace that and whatnot. All right, but that's what we have for you. You're more than welcome to check your other placements, of course, but hopefully I'll see you all again soon.